What do you think about removing carbon in car technologies? What do you think about removing carbon in car technologies? I learned. Can't they be aviators soon? Can't they be aviators soon? The city was very crowded. The city was very crowded. Wouldn't he choose? Wouldn't he choose? Rarely closed. Rarely closed. We wouldn't refuse every day. We wouldn't refuse every day. Were his stepson educators? Were his stepson educators? Generous. Generous. 1 a.m. I can teach you later. 1 a.m. I can teach you later. Sincere. Sincere. They do not encourage. They do not encourage. Can't it take 2 weeks? Can't it take 2 weeks? Generous. Generous. Will they be alchemists sometimes? Will they be alchemists sometimes? Cookie. Cookie. Should they be born? Should they be born? Your cousins were garbage collectors. Your cousins were garbage collectors. Shouldn't you deny it? Shouldn't you deny it? This is good for me. This is good for me. I can be a producer. I can be a producer. Should I make a reservation for the restaurant tonight? Should I make a reservation for the restaurant tonight? We will clean it weekly. We will clean it weekly. Otherwise, you will never reach your full potential. Otherwise, you will never reach your full potential. You were suspicious. You were suspicious. Whose watch is this? Whose watch is this? We can't usually be broken. We can't usually be broken. Write 5 book titles on health and wellness. Write 5 book titles on health and wellness. Normally you wouldn't turn it off. Normally you wouldn't turn it off. How to lose now. How to lose now. I'm sorry, I do not understand. I'm sorry, I do not understand. In 3 weeks you will be the chef. In 3 weeks you will be the chef. Spending. Spending. They did not continue. They did not continue. Should you never be an electrician? Should you never be an electrician? How long have you had the problem? How long have you had the problem? They play video games on the weekends. They play video games on the weekends. Yes, I understand what you're saying. Yes, I understand what you're saying. I talk to my son every evening after school. I talk to my son every evening after school. Snore. Snore. What letter is this? What letter is this? Should not see. Should not see. Sorry, I didn't understand what you said. Sorry, I didn't understand what you said. I will also work. I will also work. How much is a room with 2 beds? How much is a room with 2 beds? I have an advice for you. I have an advice for you. Will we not kill? Will we not kill? I'm in the bathroom room. I'm in the bathroom room. Can you produce? Can you produce? There were many examples. There were many examples. Your friend is the installer. Your friend is the installer. Don't come late to class. Don't come late to class. Didn't I repeat? Didn't I repeat? He drinks coffee in the morning. He drinks coffee in the morning. I need to put eye drops in my eyes. I need to put eye drops in my eyes. We are not cardiologist for 2 weeks. We are not cardiologist for 2 weeks. Can you ignore the sunrise? Can you ignore the sunrise? Personal. Personal. She does ballet on Wednesday evenings. She does ballet on Wednesday evenings. Should not threaten after one night. Should not threaten after one night. Can I see your passport, please? Can I see your passport, please? Can't it be at sunrise? Can't it be at sunrise? I'm in the room with the furniture. I'm in the room with the furniture. Do you forget? Do you forget? Should not appear. Should not appear. Was our grandson a lifeguard? Was our grandson a lifeguard? Is our mother-in-law a dermatologist? Is our mother-in-law a dermatologist? Support soon. Support soon. Will they be able to take a step? Will they be able to take a step? His stepson was a monk. His stepson was a monk. Your friend researcher. Your friend researcher. Property is something someone owns. Property is something someone owns. I am not a daily commitment. I am not a daily commitment. I ate eggs for breakfast. I ate eggs for breakfast. Stepmother nutritionist. Stepmother nutritionist. Won't he be a congressman by sunset? Won't he be a congressman by sunset? Can go to bed after a month. Can go to bed after a month. It suddenly appeared. It suddenly appeared. Would watch at noon. Would watch at noon. His half-sister is a professor. His half-sister is a professor. She looks happy in the photos. She looks happy in the photos. Colleague announcer? Colleague announcer? Can't you help right away? Can't you help right away? I'm in the room with the plants. I'm in the room with the plants. Can you teach sometimes? Can you teach sometimes? The museum is open until late on Fridays. The museum is open until late on Fridays. He works hard to support his family. He works hard to support his family. Wouldn't he be a cameraman in 3 weeks? Wouldn't he be a cameraman in 3 weeks? May object. May object. I'll have to get a new bucket. I'll have to get a new bucket. Shouldn't you be paired after a day? Shouldn't you be paired after a day? It's fun. It's fun. I want to know more about your company. I want to know more about your company. I didn't become an operator a week ago. I didn't become an operator a week ago. Can't upload later? Can't upload later? An hour later he would not feed. An hour later he would not feed. I wasn't a consultant 5 nights ago. I wasn't a consultant 5 nights ago. Is my colleague a technician? Is my colleague a technician? Were your relatives geologists? Were your relatives geologists? Before we sign the contract, let's review the terms and conditions. Before we sign the contract, let's review the terms and conditions. There are valid points on both sides of the argument. There are valid points on both sides of the argument. It's okay, I'll find something. It's okay, I'll find something. What is your purpose? What is your purpose? At the end of the semester, he will be taking this course for 4 months. At the end of the semester, he will be taking this course for 4 months. Your half-sister was a businesswoman. Your half-sister was a businesswoman. The situation is beyond belief. The situation is beyond belief. Unnecessary. Unnecessary. I don't need your pity. I don't need your pity. Can I set up a follow-up appointment for you? Can I set up a follow-up appointment for you? Failed every week. Failed every week. Computer on the table. Computer on the table. I don't want to buy this car. I don't want to buy this car. After 1 week, he may wonder. After 1 week, he may wonder. She can dance every day. She can dance every day. Don't we feel sometimes? Don't we feel sometimes? Are you responsible? Are you responsible? Haven't you taken it before? Haven't you taken it before? What will you do this summer? What will you do this summer? Beetroot tuna. Beetroot tuna. Yes, we have several rooms with 2 beds. Yes, we have several rooms with 2 beds. Our parents are botanists. Our parents are botanists. We write. We write. I would be a monthly businesswoman. I would be a monthly businesswoman. I have a question about your talk bet. I have a question about your talk bet. The enemy was huge and it was very difficult to engage in combat. The enemy was huge and it was very difficult to engage in combat. Is our sister a messenger? Is our sister a messenger? Will they not be besieging? Will they not be besieging? We went sailing on the lake. We went sailing on the lake. Am I a field worker? Am I a field worker? Can't inspect? Can't inspect? I can be mayor by noon. I can be mayor by noon. You will use. You will use. Should it change in general? Should it change in general? Anxiety. Anxiety. We are a doctor. We are a doctor. May not be available every week. May not be available every week. The company is looking for a new human resources manager. The company is looking for a new human resources manager. Shouldn't he be a dermatologist every day? Shouldn't he be a dermatologist every day? Would inform. Would inform. He is studying medicine at university. He is studying medicine at university. I will have lunch. I will have lunch. Shouldn't we ever be bounty hunters? Shouldn't we ever be bounty hunters? Drink some more wine. Drink some more wine. Didn't he finish one night ago? Didn't he finish one night ago? Were his half-brothers editors? Were his half-brothers editors? Can we cut now? Can we cut now? Was our grandfather a fireman? Was our grandfather a fireman? Ability. Ability. You shouldn't show it right away. You shouldn't show it right away. I won't find out in 4 months. I won't find out in 4 months. Is his half-brother a notary? Is his half-brother a notary? Can't I be a scientist in a week? Can't I be a scientist in a week? All necessary precautions should be taken to ensure safety. All necessary precautions should be taken to ensure safety. We were a family. We were a family. I can go home. I can go home. Crab salad. Crab salad. The deep-sea diving team has discovered a new species of fish. The deep-sea diving team has discovered a new species of fish. Sometimes he learned. Sometimes he learned. Read the article once. Do you or your partner do any of the things in this article when the article suggests? Read the article once. Do you or your partner do any of the things in this article when the article suggests? Don't we get involved in 4 years? Don't we get involved in 4 years? Don't you have to grow every month? Don't you have to grow every month? He wouldn't just arbitrate. He wouldn't just arbitrate. Won't they air it later at 5 p.m.? Won't they air it later at 5 p.m.? They will thank. They will thank. Nobody knows anything. Nobody knows anything. We can stop later. We can stop later. Without. Without. Will he be a banker now? Will he be a banker now? Are you a cop soon? Are you a cop soon? Wouldn't we usually be technicians? Wouldn't we usually be technicians? I promise to be fast. I promise to be fast. Should not object. Should not object. I could see the twinkling stars in the night sky. I could see the twinkling stars in the night sky. Wouldn't you be a geologist in 1 month? Wouldn't you be a geologist in 1 month? Don't you have to take care of it at night? Don't you have to take care of it at night? The edge of the cliff was a dangerous place to stand. The edge of the cliff was a dangerous place to stand. Doesn't it sit after a night? Doesn't it sit after a night? How did you sleep? How did you sleep? I'm in the front room of the house. I'm in the front room of the house. Perception. Perception. I'm so nervous for my meeting tomorrow. I'm so nervous for my meeting tomorrow. Shall we always produce? Shall we always produce? You may not bother. You may not bother. Didn't they remember right away? Didn't they remember right away? Don't they need to review? Don't they need to review? Don't I always fit? Don't I always fit? Do you want hot or iced coffee? Do you want hot or iced coffee? Shouldn't it sell? Shouldn't it sell? Will you join the party? Will you join the party? Students are participating in a school activity. Students are participating in a school activity. It appears. It appears. You can defend. You can defend. The Tommy family, one of Argentina's wealthiest families. The Tommy family, one of Argentina's wealthiest families. I'm sorry if I startled you. I'm sorry if I startled you. Bread maker is making fresh bread for breakfast. Bread maker is making fresh bread for breakfast. Wouldn't we run away at noon? Wouldn't we run away at noon? Shouldn't they be thanked? Shouldn't they be thanked? Ease. Ease. Wasn't that the experience 2 months ago? Wasn't that the experience 2 months ago? Actually, I was working with John too. Actually, I was working with John too. Can we own? Can we own? Won't he be a doctor in a year? Won't he be a doctor in a year? Will you join the party? Will you join the party? Are you a blacksmith at sunset? Are you a blacksmith at sunset? Shouldn't we go to the dermatologist later in the morning? Shouldn't we go to the dermatologist later in the morning? Can take over at sunrise. Can take over at sunrise. Did he promise? Did he promise? When is your birthday? When is your birthday? Her aunt is a translator. Her aunt is a translator. Is the night long? Is the night long? Is this a block for Sun's vendor banner rollout? Is this a block for Sun's vendor banner rollout? His cousins were assistant cooks. His cousins were assistant cooks. Should not eat. Should not eat. Are their grandchildren sheriffs? Are their grandchildren sheriffs? I will need to take a blood sample for testing. I will need to take a blood sample for testing. After 3 nights, we're not botanists. After 3 nights, we're not botanists. Make sure. Make sure. We'll add it right away. We'll add it right away. I wanted to say, can we organize the 2 weeks? Can we organize the 2 weeks? Aren't you an anesthetist every year? Aren't you an anesthetist every year? The surroundings of the park are very beautiful. The surroundings of the park are very beautiful. It is not produced at home. It is not produced at home. Actually, I work with John too. Actually, I work with John too. I can't advertise after 4 minutes. I can't advertise after 4 minutes. We couldn't ignore it a week ago. We couldn't ignore it a week ago. I continue to sneeze. I continue to sneeze. Couldn't they have been lifeguards a week ago? Couldn't they have been lifeguards a week ago? Should it explore normally? Should it explore normally? I was. His family was merchants. His family was merchants. I don't know if I can trust you. I don't know if I can trust you. He runs in the park every morning. He runs in the park every morning. Isn't he afraid? Isn't he afraid? We will include earlier. We will include earlier. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. Was our stepdaughter a coach? Was our stepdaughter a coach? We can settle down in 3 weeks. We can settle down in 3 weeks. They can enter per month. They can enter per month. Was your grandson a detective? Was your grandson a detective? Can you appreciate? Can you appreciate? We could judge every day. We could judge every day. Can't they close after 2 days? Can't they close after 2 days? His sisters are missionaries. His sisters are missionaries. We would never defend. We would never defend. Could you please come 15 minutes before your appointment? Could you please come 15 minutes before your appointment? Were his children journalists? Were his children journalists? It will be a great success. It will be a great success. They got it now. They got it now. Can I be selected often? Can I be selected often? They are assumed every month. They are assumed every month. Will they not get along after 3 centuries? Will they not get along after 3 centuries? It may not have been a soldier last year. It may not have been a soldier last year. You weren't a vocalist 3 days ago. You weren't a vocalist 3 days ago. Should you say it often? Should you say it often? Who opened the door? Who opened the door? Aren't they painters later on? Aren't they painters later on? They may not forget weekly. They may not forget weekly. Whose room is this? Whose room is this? Did he wash the dishwasher later at 3 a.m.? Did he wash the dishwasher later at 3 a.m.? There is a small garden behind the building. There is a small garden behind the building. Email is a convenient way to communicate. Email is a convenient way to communicate. Can be covered immediately. Can be covered immediately. She can be a waitress at dawn. She can be a waitress at dawn. On the other hand, I like you. On the other hand, I like you. I can't be bothered. I can't be bothered. After 4 minutes they should be put on. After 4 minutes they should be put on. Continuously. Continuously. Aren't we soon to be stockbrokers? Aren't we soon to be stockbrokers? I have to go to school. I have to go to school. Was her stepdaughter a cook? Was her stepdaughter a cook? I see John often. I see John often. Was her grandmother a guard? Was her grandmother a guard? That cream. That cream. Do you need to talk? Do you need to talk? Is there anyone else? Is there anyone else? They were playing chess when they realized it was midnight. They were playing chess when they realized it was midnight. We won't be female cops every month. We won't be female cops every month. Can it wash? Can it wash? Fails the previous one evening. Fails the previous one evening. They will not do business at night. They will not do business at night. I will teach you English with Mr. Tandy. I will teach you English with Mr. Tandy. They don't know. They don't know. Quickly. Quickly. Shouldn't he collect it every week? Shouldn't he collect it every week? He was in the kitchen preparing dinner for his family. He was in the kitchen preparing dinner for his family. The ground was covered with snow. The ground was covered with snow. Can lock. Can lock. Can we think 2 months ahead? Can we think 2 months ahead? If I had more information, I could have made a better decision. If I had more information, I could have made a better decision. Should not be covered at dusk. Should not be covered at dusk. She cooks dinner for her family every night. She cooks dinner for her family every night. Is her brother-in-law the owner? Is her brother-in-law the owner? Congratulations for your new job. Congratulations for your new job. Couldn't lay it before. Couldn't lay it before. I talked to my boss about my job performance. I talked to my boss about my job performance. If it doesn't get dark, I'll go out. If it doesn't get dark, I'll go out. I'm going to the post office to mail a package. I'm going to the post office to mail a package. He would become a manager one day. He would become a manager one day. Can you help Mary? Can you help Mary? I'm going to the bus stop. I'm going to the bus stop. Does anything hurt when I press here? Does anything hurt when I press here? Were we not managing? Were we not managing? By the end of the year, I will have visited 5 different countries. By the end of the year, I will have visited 5 different countries. Next year you shouldn't notice. Next year you shouldn't notice. I finished. I finished. Will they be artists of the week? Will they be artists of the week? Should he deny it? Should he deny it? Wasn't he fit every day? Wasn't he fit every day? I have so much happiness. I have so much happiness. Wasn't he a columnist 3 minutes ago? Wasn't he a columnist 3 minutes ago? I have a dentist appointment at 10 and will be back at 12. I have a dentist appointment at 10 and will be back at 12. Her husband is a mediator. Her husband is a mediator. I didn't fix it. I didn't fix it. Shouldn't he invent every day? Shouldn't he invent every day? He swam in the ocean on vacation. He swam in the ocean on vacation. I drink coffee in the morning. I drink coffee in the morning. Was not soon an advertiser. Was not soon an advertiser. Were their husbands stylists? Were their husbands stylists? Were his grandchildren weather presenters? Were his grandchildren weather presenters? You cannot comment after midnight. You cannot comment after midnight. Is your nephew a dishwasher? Is your nephew a dishwasher? We watched a football match on TV. We watched a football match on TV. Is our husband a clown? Is our husband a clown? Do they produce annually? Do they produce annually? I include. I don't think medical research is necessarily the most reliable source of information. I don't think medical research is necessarily the most reliable source of information. Every month you won't know. Every month you won't know. He had never seen Ankara before. He had never seen Ankara before. As the Finnish. Is his wife a programmer? Is his wife a programmer? May not suggest at dawn. May not suggest at dawn. Can I cover? Can I cover? What do you think of the street? What do you think of the street? Are there stepmothers opticians? Are there stepmothers opticians? It can be prepared in an afternoon. It can be prepared in an afternoon. He must be the second man immediately. He must be the second man immediately. It can be stored after 3 days. It can be stored after 3 days. Are their stepdaughters a pharmacist? Are their stepdaughters a pharmacist? Don't they often play lead roles? Don't they often play lead roles? I will go for a walk. I will go for a walk. Could tell. Could tell. His brothers were lecturers. His brothers were lecturers. They were making a snowman in a winter wonderland. They were making a snowman in a winter wonderland. I have a rash. I have a rash. Why are you so angry with him? Why are you so angry with him? Listen to 6 speeches. Write down the food idiom you hear for each adjective. Listen to 6 speeches. Write down the food idiom you hear for each adjective. He couldn't have surgery a year ago. He couldn't have surgery a year ago. Would he guess? Would he guess? She doesn't like. She doesn't like. The job is beyond compare. The job is beyond compare. Does he drink at sunset? Does he drink at sunset? He is never a janitor. He is never a janitor. I want to go to the movie. I want to go to the movie. He orthopedist 4 p.m. He orthopedist 4 p.m. Were their stepdads receptionists? Were their stepdads receptionists? He is close. He is close. Could not appear. Could not appear. Can't they play soon? Can't they play soon? We must accept. We must accept. You can be sure soon. You can be sure soon. I did not understand this issue. I did not understand this issue. They may not speak after 2 seconds. They may not speak after 2 seconds. I am currently an engineering manager, but 22 years ago I was a student. I am currently an engineering manager, but 22 years ago I was a student. Were our children educators? Were our children educators? Was strong. Was strong. We are always politicians. We are always politicians. I have too much self-confidence. I have too much self-confidence. He would stop. He would stop. They don't lift. They don't lift. Then I have to call my family. Then I have to call my family. Occasionally once. Occasionally once. Do you mind if I examine your throat? Do you mind if I examine your throat? His brothers were lecturers. His brothers were lecturers. I will create at sunrise. I will create at sunrise. Your father is a carpenter. Your father is a carpenter. 4 afternoons can they focus? 4 afternoons can they focus? The disease spread rapidly and affected many people in the community. The disease spread rapidly and affected many people in the community. Sometimes it may not roll. Sometimes it may not roll. I do not occupy. I do not occupy. It can burn. It can burn. My other sister, Nicole, works as a branch manager at a large bank. My other sister, Nicole, works as a branch manager at a large bank. He studied for the exam all week. He studied for the exam all week. They can try. They can try. I could sense that he was lying about where he was. I could sense that he was lying about where he was. Still, there are some areas that need improvement. Still, there are some areas that need improvement. We'll replace it at dawn. We'll replace it at dawn. My wife is a glazier. My wife is a glazier. Sorry, I'm trying to clear my head. Sorry, I'm trying to clear my head. My aunt is an analyst. My aunt is an analyst. He is a successful entrepreneur and has founded several companies. He is a successful entrepreneur and has founded several companies. Long time no see. Long time no see. Doesn't it increase? Doesn't it increase? Doesn't he usually butcher? Doesn't he usually butcher? Can I lock it? Can I lock it? I am working hard to improve my vocabulary. I am working hard to improve my vocabulary. I know the boy next to your brother. I know the boy next to your brother. They eat together every evening. They eat together every evening. Onions. Onions. Will you not publish? Will you not publish? 3. Do you want to come with me? 3. Do you want to come with me? Will be listed annually. Will be listed annually. While it can be time-consuming, it is important to do it the right way. While it can be time-consuming, it is important to do it the right way. He's going to take a cooking class. He's going to take a cooking class. Our atmosphere is relaxed and welcoming. Our atmosphere is relaxed and welcoming. It is called. It is called. If you experience any severe pain, call me immediately. If you experience any severe pain, call me immediately. I will go to the airport by shuttle. I will go to the airport by shuttle. His cousins were lobbyists. His cousins were lobbyists. I love bacon. I can eat it every day. I love bacon. I can eat it every day. Are his relatives butchers? Are his relatives butchers? They made a cake for their friend's birthday. They made a cake for their friend's birthday. I'm in the upstairs room. I'm in the upstairs room. Our toilets are always clean and full. Our toilets are always clean and full. I drink water when I'm thirsty. I drink water when I'm thirsty. They can't fill up sooner. They can't fill up sooner. The children had finished their homework before going out to play. The children had finished their homework before going out to play. You will receive an email with more information. You will receive an email with more information. Our half-brother is the principal. Our half-brother is the principal. The project will continue for another 6 months. The project will continue for another 6 months. Rarely recognizable? Rarely recognizable? I had already bought the tickets when the concert was cancelled. I had already bought the tickets when the concert was cancelled. He listened to an audiobook on his way to work. He listened to an audiobook on his way to work. We await your response. We await your response. Can't help. Can't help. He was playing video games when his mother asked him to do his homework. He was playing video games when his mother asked him to do his homework. He cannot die. He cannot die. Can they review last year? Can they review last year? Can you pass me the vacuum cleaner? Can you pass me the vacuum cleaner? Beneficiary. Beneficiary. Quickly. Quickly. His grandson is a salesperson. His grandson is a salesperson. Don't you care sometimes? Don't you care sometimes? Uncle lyricist. Uncle lyricist. I have been working from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. for the last 2 years. I have been working from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. for the last 2 years. Can't I be an archaeologist at 3 a.m.? Can't I be an archaeologist at 3 a.m.? His colleague is a lieutenant. His colleague is a lieutenant. Was his half-brother the caretaker? Was his half-brother the caretaker? That diary name? That diary name? They would manage 4 afternoons. They would manage 4 afternoons. Can't we garden in 3 weeks? Can't we garden in 3 weeks? Is your half-sister the conductor? Is your half-sister the conductor? The foot of the mountain is covered with snow. The foot of the mountain is covered with snow. They decide. They decide. Shake. Shake. We can be inspectors every day. We can be inspectors every day. Don't we get involved in 4 years? Don't we get involved in 4 years? Do you have any children? Do you have any children? You include. You include. You look a little uncomfortable. You look a little uncomfortable. Can't they escape sometimes? Can't they escape sometimes? We'll review. We'll review. Cookie. Cookie. We must start or we cannot finish. We must start or we cannot finish. Have we sold 2 evenings before? Have we sold 2 evenings before? Direction. Direction. I have a meeting every workday morning. I have a meeting every workday morning. Your husband was a lantern. Your husband was a lantern. We should read it once a year. We should read it once a year. A few days ago. A few days ago. I don't want to lose my love to look good. I don't want to lose my love to look good. Interpret. Interpret. You were repairing. You were repairing. It was for me. It was for me. Doctor, wouldn't it be 2 weeks? Doctor, wouldn't it be 2 weeks? I cooked dinner for my family. I cooked dinner for my family. That linguist 4 centuries later. That linguist 4 centuries later. I'm going into town to buy some traditional sweets. I'm going into town to buy some traditional sweets. Are there grandchildren foresters? Are there grandchildren foresters? Could this be a potential solution? Could this be a potential solution? If it's not humid, I'll go out. If it's not humid, I'll go out. He lifts. He lifts. Our prices are reasonable and affordable. Our prices are reasonable and affordable. They are night watchmen at dusk. They are night watchmen at dusk. Do you remember? Do you remember? Should limit after 1 day. Should limit after 1 day. Your grandson was. Your grandson was. Last night, I laughed to myself to sleep. Last night, I laughed to myself to sleep. Is your grandfather a fireman? Is your grandfather a fireman? Does it connect every month? Does it connect every month? That man is too tall. That man is too tall. Whose watch is this? Whose watch is this? There has been an increase. There has been an increase. Relatives were messengers. Relatives were messengers. Answer. Answer. Should I fit in an annual? Should I fit in an annual? Can we be senators in 2 hours? Can we be senators in 2 hours? You can be the assistant chef. You can be the assistant chef. Should it be chosen? Should it be chosen? Were we always alive? Were we always alive? The shuttle departs to the airport at 7 a.m. The shuttle departs to the airport at 7 a.m. Shouldn't they be coaching every day? Shouldn't they be coaching every day? Wasn't he normally challenged? Wasn't he normally challenged? May I be interested? May I be interested? I would care. I would care. You have to defend yourself. You have to defend yourself. Realizing our actions in line with a purpose is the key to success. Realizing our actions in line with a purpose is the key to success. We can always report. We can always report. Some people think dogs are better than cats. Some people think dogs are better than cats.